the, they are kids, they're civilians, right? And that's what is a very tough pill to swallow for me. It's like, come on, man.
Dale.
All right, so let's move to the next topic, though. Is this a little bit more dense, right? Which is the war, but we needed to discuss it. Are you familiar with what is going on? I mean, do you have any context on obviously Israel versus Palestinian, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think I have the surface level stuff. The kind of the background that most people know is that this has been going on for a while now, right? There's this historic push and pull between these two groups over, Israel, Palestine, in that Gaza Strip area, and it does come up every once in a while. But what are the details around that? Can you share?
Well, this is my opinion, right? But this is just my own understanding. I'm not an expert on this, right? So it's just my own observation. I think that it's not about this piece of land, right? Right now they're mentioning, right? Like, well, it's because there is conflict and all of that. But I think that this thing is, in my opinion, it just goes back like way, way behind. Like even it's in the Bible, right? Like you have these kind of different cultures spawning from even from Abraham, right? Like you have basically some of the things that Abraham had to follow to be able to have a child with his mate, who it was Ishmael, which is basically the descendants of the all of the Islamic, and then you have the descendant of the wife of the other wife, which it was basically Isaac, right? Which is the Jews. So you have this conflict going on, like almost relatives, and for me, it's almost like what the heck? You guys almost were the same family, right? Based on the scriptures, and as well, almost the same God, right? So what is the conflict, right? What is the fight? And now years pass, and then you have the tension because when Jesus came, so now you have three religions, right? You have the basically Christians, Jews, and the Islamic, and that's kind of the conflict, right? That in that area that you have all of these happening on that area. And again, right now it's just between these two places, but it has been always conflict in the middle. So uh, the other portion, that's kind of the ancient, and there's always has been conflict, right? But now, later on this century, it was basically that United States got pulled into this, I guess, call it mess, right? Because they have their own conflicts, they and all of that. But the reason why US got into this is because they start providing the land for Israel in about 1948 or something like that, where they provided that land to the Jews, which is basically when they founded Israel, and that's where kind of the new type of conflict emerged. At least, again, that's from my point of view.
Yeah, pretty interesting. There's obviously lots of lots of history around this, and going back to even the scriptures, right, where a lot of this started. And I know folks grow up with their belief systems on all sides, and it's very difficult to argue past those belief systems. And I think then also when there's kind of life and death associated with it, um, that can really be difficult, because you could know that you were affected, someone in your family was killed, and then you don't let go of those things. So I don't know where this is heading. A lot of people are saying it can escalate very quickly into a world war, but let's hope that let's hope that that doesn't necessarily happen. Maybe the UFOs can help here de-escalate. Maybe that's why there's a lot more sightings going on.
Maybe it's like or providing, like to one side of the thing, right? So yeah, I think that going back to the beliefs, you hit the nail. I'm thinking about different cultures, how you see an spectrum between some that they are very radical, right? Like, hey, you must follow this, and this is the only way, right? To the most open or free ones, like maybe kind of like almost uh, like Indians or even some of the Buddhists, right? That is more on that spectrum, right? So that you can even have like in Indian culture, Indian religion, you can actually worship so many gods, right? So, and again, it's kind of in the pendulum versus more of the more Abrahamic, and that's the reason why they call them Abrahamic gods, because even the ones that they just are more, there's only one God. So, my point here is uh, sometimes we have to be a little bit more tolerant, right, on different things because it's how they were raised and how they were. That's their identity, right? Like it's very hard to be able to. You have to be well read, well traveled, and even with that, you still will prefer by your own preference to follow your own beliefs. But sometimes people they might not, right? So that's the reason why you see some people from the West going to maybe other places. I start becoming whatever they wanted to become. But yeah, I think that is always conflict like this. It, it is fuzzy. It's not very clear, right? Like why they're doing it, right? And even right now in these latest years on the advance of the civilization as humankind, uh, it's very impacting to me, right? That we're still fighting for these type of things, but maybe always it will happen like this.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, whenever there's humans involved, there's going to be emotions and passion involved. It'll be very difficult to kind of move on from those things, and these are generational type of conflicts. I don't think we can expect that it can be solved overnight. I think I think that maybe also feeds into kind of there was the Hamas initial attack, but then this very strong retaliation. I mean, it's like that retaliation. You could tell there was a lot of pent up energy there that was built up over time. That's what made it so strong and swift and hard.
But you know what? It's just the they are kids, they're civilians, right? And that's what is a very tough pill to swallow for me. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah.
it's like it's like you say that you're religious. Show me, right? I don't think that your God tells you let's go and kill babies, right? It's like, come on, man. Right? It's like
Hmm.
this is tough. We're human beings, and yes, in war is I understand it, right? But it's tough, and that's the images that they're coming up. They're tough. Both sides, by the way. But by the way, the ones that they know about Hamas, it's basically Islamic resistance. I think that's what it stands for, right? It's like Islamic resistance. Um, but yeah, again, let's keep watching it. Hopefully, it doesn't escalate. But we'll keep watching it closely.
Yep. Yep. Super serious topics here, but moving on. I think